You're looking at my pride and joy. I found this Jaguar XJS with a blown-up V12 engine, so the price was right. I yanked that out and installed a warmed-over 350 small-block Chevy engine. Let me tell you, this baby will smoke the tires. Plus, it rides and it handles like a dream. And I take good care of it. I only use the very best Carnauba wax, the spray-on kind, because it's a lot less work. And don't forget to treat the tires, huh? You know, we have been to Riverside International Raceway a couple of times this season and have always been treated to some great racing. Some of the best came courtesy of the All-American Challenge cars and the NASCAR 200. If you remember, during the early part of the racing, Duke Hohenschel, who has dominated All-American Challenge racing at Riverside the past few years, was battling Ron Esau for the lead. Esau had one of our cameras on board.
Here comes Esau, turn 6. There is no chance for Duke Hohenschel to challenge here, but I would say if it happens, it'll happen just as it did before, where Doug Taylor was suddenly surprised to see that 38 car on the outside of turn number 9. Doug Taylor still challenging, though. He hasn't given up by any means as they move out onto that long back straightaway.
And I'm sure Duke would prefer to pass for the lead here if he possibly can and not try another one of those risky plays on the outside of turn number 9. Here comes Hohenschel in the 38 car. He is alongside Esau. This is turn 9 coming up. Can he execute here? I think he will.
Got the inside line. Let's see what happens now. Esau challenges inside. Hohenschel holds on the outside and moves into the lead. Terrific charge to the front by the young man who has won here, remember now, the last 2 races.
Well, Ron Esau's view through that windshield suddenly changes the first time he has seen any of the enemy in front of him.
Absolutely. Here they come. And now Elder begins to challenge Randy Becker for that 4th spot, but can't make it stick, and Randy holds on. Here come the leaders. The new leader, Duke Hohenschel, moving from well back in the pack, actually, to just charge to the front.
Right, Brock. In fact, the Duke started number 3 on the grid, but right at the drop of the green flag, had some problems, fell back 3 or 4 places, and has very ably fought his way to the front. Hohenschel in front of this race as he has been for the past. Well, this is the 3rd year he's led it. 2 years he's won it.
Right ahead of him, though, is some lap traffic, some guys that are a lot slower. You can see him in the picture there. And the challenge will begin now for both Esau and Hohenschel to move through those slower cars. There goes Hohenschel, now Esau, heading down onto the back straightaway.
There's the 7th place runner. That's the number 12 car, Bob Patch. He started in the 8th position, so he has only picked up 1 spot.
Pretty hard to move through this field, though, Steve, but the guys running so well up front haven't had any retirements, and as you say, a couple of guys back there, Jim Lee and Bob Patch, fell back just a little bit, but I'll tell you what, the number 6 car of Jim Lee is starting to move a little bit. He's pulled up among the leaders. There's Bob Patch in that number 12 car. Beautifully turned out race car, by the way. Up in front of him, the number 6 car of Jim Lee. Now, Lee started in the 5th spot, and now he's sitting back there in 6th, but I think he's going to start to move again.
Indeed, Brock, and I really wonder if Duke Hohenschel didn't take it quite conservatively the first few laps. In fact, you're absolutely right. Here comes Jim Lee. He is challenging Randy Becker down the back straightaway, and he's got him easily. That puts Jim Lee into the 5th position.
Right, exactly where he started, but I think we may see him moving up a little bit more. Jim Lee, a good, solid race driver. Again, a Southern California, like most of these guys. This is a Southern California circuit, even though they run up and down most of the West Coast. But most of the fellas work and race right out of the L.A. area.
As we ride again with Ron Esau, let me continue the thought about Duke Hohenschel.